Kai? Hey, Kai. Can we start the interview now, or are we starting, or what's it? Yes? Okay, yeah, okay, thanks. Yeah, I just wanted to confirm because I wasn't sure. I can't see the audience, so maybe you can just step aside a little bit. All right. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hi, guys. Yeah, we're in full motto of, like in 1995 in Europe's famous hostel conference, and I'm very happy and very proud to introduce you to a very special person, a true industry pioneer, so to say, and PMS software legend. Long before 1995, at the time where floppies were still king and the public internet did not even exist, he was already coding the future of hostel software like a rock star, from MS-DOS to dial-up tunes when we had to access the internet, to cloud and AI. He has seen it all over the last 30 years, tons of experience, and an industry original. He's the founder and managing director of ASSD. Welcome, Andreas Stolz. Andreas, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Kai, for giving me the opportunity. I'm very pleased about this.
Yeah, fortunately you cannot be here personally, but at least we have the chance to maybe rewind a little bit the time and go through the last decades. We're talking about the last 3 decades. We're reviewing the last 30 years also in this conference, and let's take it all to the beginning. And I would be really interested in how everything started and what inspired you to develop a PMS solution.
Yeah, so actually when I was very young, I denied to go to the army, and instead I joined the Bavarian Youth Hostel Association. And from the start on, I was responsible for IBM cash registers and programming the cash registers for accounting. And during that time, the idea was born to develop a new property management system, and that's why they hired me as an employee. And then during 1 year, we developed a new PMS system for the Bavarian Youth Hostel Association.
Let me recap, because you said you denied to go to the army, so it was so-called a social service. In Germany, we can either choose if we join the army or the social. At that time, if I'm correct, it was about 21 months.
Yes, exactly.
So in that you had to basically fulfill your social service, and then you had the chance to be in the IT development of the German Youth Hostel Association in Bavaria.
Yes,
okay,
exactly.
Okay. So that was about then until like the 89, 90, something around?
Yeah, so around 1990 the PMS went live, and it was pretty successful, so that after a few months other associations were interested in getting this software solution.
Okay, and how was then the evolution for this? What happened then? So did you stay with the youth hostel?
Yeah, so now actually I relocated to Vienna, and I worked for an Austrian software company. Here I really learned programming. Okay, this was quite interesting for me, and a completely new approach basically. And I also learned that the existing software is not flexible enough to suit the different needs of all kinds of customers. And so during that time, the idea was born to develop a new Windows-based software that can be used in an international context. And it's also important to understand that the old PMS partly was owned by the Bavarian Youth Hostel Association, and so I wanted to have my own product for my own company.
And that was then by 96, 97, 98?
Yeah, the ideas were about this time, and our Windows PMS went live in the year 2000. It was bought by a very large independent youth hostel in Frankfurt, which was one of our first customers of the Windows-based software. And a few months later, I met in Munich Oliver Winter, CEO of A&O Hostels. And A&O was just founded, and they had one property, and they were interested in getting a property management system. And So that's why we have been delivering for A&O for more than 25 years their software systems.
This is quite impressive.
Yeah.
But if you talk about the youth hostel in Frankfurt, then they're even longer customer for us, correct?
Yeah, they're even longer. And we have even so funny stories that when I lived in Vienna, I made a presentation, a product presentation of the DOS-based PMS for the Austrian Youth Hostel Association.
Yes.
And after 30 years, now in the year 2022, so 2 years ago, they bought our software.
Okay.
So it took 30 years to convince them.
But which has obviously changed because it's not a DOS
It
version
has changed,
anymore.
yeah, it has changed. And the old software that they bought in the 90s, this software retired, so they needed a new one. Yeah.
When you said it retired, you need a new one. That takes us a bit now in the future. We'll ask a few things about also the past again. But in the end, today the software is cloud-based. How did that start then? That was probably a big milestone for SSD then.
Yes, absolutely. Originally, I think it was around 2015, 2016, we distributed Windows-based software over the cloud. That's what many companies did. But obviously this is not future-proof, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we decided to develop a completely new web and cloud-based software from scratch, basically a cloud-native software, if you want to name it like that. And this new system was ready in the year 2000.
Okay, so that means that the cloud version is...
No, 2020, of course, yeah.
2020, yes, yeah.
So
yeah. Right in when the COVID pandemic basically started.
Exactly, yeah.
You were very lucky.
Yeah.
Okay, so 220 and now 225,
yeah.
so it's...
That was the time where the big rollout started,
we've spoken about some milestones from a technology perspective, and there were some other milestones in the market as well. We'll talk about this in a minute. But coming back to the technology, do you think that the technology in the past developed slower than today, or what is your opinion about this? Is it exponential now in the last, let's say, 5 to 10 years?
I think it's not the technology that is faster, but nowadays the society can absorb the technology much faster. Because originally, when the internet was introduced, it was only available for a few people, just for students initially, or those people who had some tech savvy, had some modems.
It was in 1994, I think, right? 1994.
So I got my first internet access in 1994 as a student at Vienna University of Economics and Business Administration. Yeah.
And that has, but you said that also has changed the industry a little bit then, because I mean.
Yeah, absolutely. Because nowadays everybody has the internet, everybody has a device, a smartphone. So if you now there's a new invention, new technology like AI, like blockchain, everybody can use it instantly. So it's available to a much larger audience.
Distribution infrastructure is
and that's why
different
everything is much quicker.
Yes. But the internet as such has changed the market in the mid-90s.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
So what are your memories of that? What popped up in the market?
Yeah, I was very excited about the internet. So I instantly wanted to develop dynamic web pages, web applications at a time where there were no programming languages for this, and this was just everything was static. And my first project was one for a publishing house to create, probably it's the first content management system, so there was no content management system. They actually wanted me to code the pages manually, but I thought, okay, that's lots of work, so I developed a kind of a content management system so that they can maintain the new pages by themselves. I did also an e-commerce software for a large clothing company in Europe, which was also a nice project. And then one of the next projects was already a web booking engine for hotels. Okay. Basically, and I found a hotelier. He had 3 hotels, and he had already the idea to create a platform like booking.com. And so we developed this, and he joined with his 3 hotels. He gave the end customer 3% discount, and everybody who called the hotel said, okay, you can book via the internet. So this was pretty successful for his own hotels, but despite he convinced a couple of dozens other hotels in Germany, those hotels were listed on the platform, but they never provided availability.
But that brings us again to the acceptance of technology, the distribution, to trust into the technology.
That was the main problem, basically, that you get availability on the systems, and the same problem also Hostelworld had. So they struggled getting the availability. So their solution was that they gave a PMS for free called Backpacks to all the hostels. And via these backpacks, automatically a portion of the beds were sent to the Hostelworld webpage. But then from time to time the ice was broken, and then everybody was keen to take part in those new OTAs. And
so there was a new dynamic.
Absolutely.
I read that in 1995 the first flight ticket was booked online. But other things also happened, like the Schengen agreement came into place, so it was decided 10 years before. So there was a new dynamic in tourism. People could cross borders without any border controls. And so, what is your memory of that time, maybe even compared with online booking, or was there something that already happened, or the Interrail was a big topic? What happened in these days 30 years ago?
Yeah, in the past it was common that people queued up in front of the hostel. They had no booking, so they were usually walk-in guests. Even in the software we had a portion, a kind of a walk-in allotment, basically, to reserve some beds for those people just popping up. And the people traveled with a large travel book, kind of a Bible of the traveler called Let's Go, and that was the way to travel Europe, basically.
So can I imagine that they were lining up until the hostel were full, and I said, sorry guys, you have to move on to the next hostel?
Yeah, so they needed to queue up in the morning, and actually I lived 2 years in the youth hostel in Munich, and so when I looked out of the window, so I always saw the people
queuing up. Interesting. It's very good. Yeah, but that was in the past. I have 2-3 more questions. If you compare the past and today, there are many providers now that pop up in the market, and they think, okay, we can do PMS better, and a lot of them are driving the industry, which is positive. So there's it's not no doubt. But what would you say? What sets ASSD apart from in the market, basically?
Yeah, it's actually interesting that there are so many new companies doing PMS, because it's a very complex area with lots of regulations and fiscal regulations. And yeah, I think the difference of ASSD is really that we always try to reinvent ourselves and create new technology, new things, and combining this with our experience. We are a personal company, so we are not backed with millions of investments, and we try to consult our customers and help them with our experience to be able to adopt technology in the best possible way.
And in the right way.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, I think so. If you look into the future, I mean, we now talk about MS-DOS and Windows and cloud-based, so now AI is a big topic. How do you think this will affect the industry, and what will the benefits and maybe also the risks be with it?
Yeah, I think AI will change a lot, so it will change the whole society, the whole working environment. We have been using AI for quite a long time for development, and so we have quite a few very enthusiastic developers that use AI for development, and we just had a presentation. It is extremely impressive. So you just tell the machine what to develop, and then you get the finished program without errors and things like that. But also for our customers, the hostels, it's interesting. So we can use AI agents to do WhatsApp communication with your guest. There are lots of possibilities here, and this will definitely change the industry.
As we said, it will change it. We spoke about human interaction. I know that there's a new generation that will definitely accept AI a lot more. We have to adjust a little bit to feel comfortable or to let go, so to say. I was told that since my kids play computer games, they do not need human interaction, and I'm more kind of person, I would like to have the human interaction because maybe I want to flirt for an upgrade for a room, or just have someone I can speak to. So that will change. But so to say, if you look at the future and what might come along, what would your advice be for hoteliers, for hostel owners when it comes to choosing a new technology, a new software?
Yeah, I think it's important always to be open, but it's also important that if you can see some kind of synergies or process simplification, something like this, it should usually be kind of a cooperation. So just buying a new product does not help you. You also need to change your processes, automate the processes in an intelligent way, and of course don't get fooled by false promises. I think that's also an important advice.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yes, well, thanks, Andreas.
Thank you.
It was very nice. Thanks for
you.
taking the
Thank
time.
you.
Yeah, well, guys, I think it's time for coffee break now for you. So I hope you enjoyed the little ride through the last 30 years. And well, Kai, the stage is all yours, okay? So do good, and I see you when you're back in Munich. All right. Bye-bye, guys. Have fun.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.